this offense with a fresh set of downs. And I don't think they got it snapped before the play clock ran out. Offense took a little bit too much time at the line there. First down here for the offense. Running back searching for a hole. On the move is the 30. Oh, what a cut! And it is a chunk play, a huge gain on that one before the defense brings it to an end.
Defense is going to have their hands full trying to stop this guy. They better rally to the football and get multiple hats because he is not easy to bring down.
You open a drive like that, and the entire playbook opens up on first down from the 44. And he'll find enough running room to get it just short of midfield at the 49.
You want to talk about making it easy for an offensive coordinator. You pick up a bunch of yards on first down, make that second down really, really manageable. That's a great job by the offense.
Back to pass, it's McCoy. Fires to the right. Nice defensive play to get a hand in there and knock it away.
You know, it's so important for corners to be able to transition, right? You got to have real loose hips. You got to be able to change direction on a dime. And in zone coverage, when you see the ball thrown, you can break on it and force incompletions like that.
Just this side of midfield, the defense trying to rise up on third and short from the 49. Here's the handoff. That'll get the job done and move the chains, and they'll mark the ball at the 45.
It's a really good sign if you're on offense here. You're putting it on your offensive line on third down. Critical down and distance, opening drive of the game. Let those guys fire off, get a hat on a hat. You can run the ball, pick up the first. You're around midfield. And all things looking pretty good here early for this offense.
Wide receiver shows motion. The receiver on the jet sweep. A run up the middle is stuffed for no gain.
Great job by the defense there slowing down that jet sweep. And a big key was the defensive end containing the play, forcing the receiver to cut back inside to where all the traffic was.
Offense gets set for second down. They run the reverse.
Well, the offense dialing up the jet sweep, and I like that idea because this receiver, with his speed, you want to try to get him on the perimeter, put the ball in his hands and see what can happen.
Third down conversions are a huge stat, and this one would be a doozy if they can pull it off. He wants to throw it. Floating away. That pass is well off target. He got hit as he was trying to throw, and they can't convert on third down.
I don't care how talented you are as a quarterback, but your accuracy always goes down when you get hit. Nice job by the QB scrambling, working to his right, but he wasn't completing that pass with that pressure.
They call it a coffin quarter kick for a reason, and you really can't do it any better than that. He puts that thing out of bounds right around the goal line. They're backed up, 1st and 10 from inside their own 5. Let's see if they can create some space. They'll go to the ground. He's loose at the 15. Afterburners coming. The 40. Inside the 30. He's at the 10. And after gobbling up some serious yardage and showing off those wheels, he's finally out of bounds.
Man, what an incredible individual effort by that guy to take it all the way to the other end. The only thing he didn't do, Reese, was finish the play.
You got it. And he takes it in for the score. Touchdown, Broncos.
When you have so many playmakers on offense like they do, they can score quickly. You just saw it right there.
They'll try to tack one more on their score. And the extra point makes it 7-0. They wasted no time on that drive. 2 plays, touchdown just like that. The kickoff team takes the field to boot this one away. The ball bounces through the end zone, and it will be a touchback. Oregon State takes over, ready to send the offense onto the field. They just didn't quite find the rhythm on that last drive, Jesse. They had to punt it.
I think they got to be more physical, David. I think up front they got to do a better job getting blocks and establishing this running game.
And how easy does football become if you're the more physical team? If you can...
And it looks as if they've buzzed down. Replay wants to have another peek at that last play. So after reviewing the undisputable video evidence, the replay booth has decided to overturn the call. Now on second down after the incompletion. Using his legs, it's Hankerson. He's dropped behind the line of scrimmage. That'll be a loss of 3.
I love this linebacker because he's able to dissect what's happening in front of him, and he reacts downhill, uses his speed to get to the line of scrimmage and create the negative play.
Ball sitting right at the 30. It'll be 3rd and short. They're going to run it to the right. And maybe he'll get back to the line of scrimmage, but no more than that. Boy, there wasn't much room to wiggle for that running back there.
None at all. Great job by the defense getting in the backfield quickly, closing up all the holes, nowhere to run.
And they'll get him down after the return at the 27-yard line. Bronco offense back out there ready to give it another spin. That last drive really productive. David wound up with a touchdown. They'll try to do it again.
Yeah, so I don't expect this offense to change too much, Reese. They had a great drive. They got the touchdown. Everything working. I would expect them to keep pushing this ball downhill.
And just imagine if they could put another touchdown on the board right here. They could capture so much momentum in this game with back-to-back TDs.
Handoff to the single back. Yeah, it's a bit of a surge, and he's knocked down after picking up 3 to the 26.
All right, well, the offense here, they're trying to get this run game established. They obviously don't break off a long run there, but they're just trying to find their footing on this one.
Somebody needs to make a play here. It's 3rd and long from the 26. Oh, he dropped the football. He had it right in the middle of the field and just ran before he finished the catch. It'll be 4th down. And the Broncos will send out the punt unit. They'll have to punt for the first time this afternoon. And the punt team able to smack him to the ground. Oregon State has it back, and here comes the Beaver offense. Boy, 3 and out last time, David. They'd like to be more productive this time around.
Yeah, in the last drive, nothing really clicked. No rhythm, got off the field really quickly. They need to put something together here.
Yeah, David, bad execution on that last drive. So they got to take a collective breath and start playing like a unit on this drive.
Halfway there on 1st down, it's 2nd and 5. Quarterback will audible. They'll try the right side. He'll push his way out to the 38, pickup of 3. This is where you make the money on the drive. Ball at the 30, it's 3rd and short. They'll try to run for it. And the Beavers will keep this drive going.
And I just need a crease. I need you offensive linemen, just like right here. Great job holding the point of attack. Don't let any penetration come in. Give me a little sliver, and then you see the running back, Palmer. He'll do the rest, lower his shoulder, and make sure he gets the 1st down.
Yeah, it means a lot to this offense, too, to have a guy like this that always just seems to fall forward. He always, in these short yardage situations, knows where that 1st down marker is, and he's able to get those.
And the defense gets to the quarterback.
How nice is it as a defense when you can drop 7 guys into coverage, only rush 4, and still get home? That makes you feel good if you're the D coordinator.
A big play for the defense with the 1st down sack. Now, advantage D as the offense comes up on 2nd down. Almost intercepted. It'll fall incomplete. The defense almost came up with a turnover.
Great coverage, great break on the ball. Had a chance to really make a big play and maybe even take that thing back to the house. But you got to secure the catch. We like to hit people more than we like to catch balls.
They're going to keep this drive going. They'll have to make a play on 3rd and long from the 26. Looking to the big tight end. It's complete. He'll have enough for the first down, and they stop him at the 45.
Hard work pays off, guys. These offenses work so hard week in, week out, working on those critical down and distances, 3rd downs. And having that conversion this early in the game, that's got to feel good for this offense.
They'll run the option. And he was fortunate not to lose yardage on that play, able to wedge it back to the line of scrimmage.
Great job of contained by this defense. And in order to do that, the end man on the line of scrimmage defensively has got to be able to set the point and force the football back into traffic. And that's exactly what happened.
They got nothing on the last play. It's 2nd and 10. Wide out in motion. Quarterback quick pass to the receiver. And it'll be a pickup of 9. They're facing a 3rd and 1.
Man, the defense, you hold your breath. When this receiver has the football out in space, you have got to make sure you're playing with outstanding pursuit. Nice job there, but as this game goes on, you've got to keep an eye on this guy and make sure they know where he is at all times.
He's knocked down in the backfield. He'll lose a couple.
Well, the linebacker's showing you read and react. He knew exactly where that running play was going, and he beat the football to the line of scrimmage and forced the TFL.
The Beavers line up to punt it away. Oh, the fake, the up man looking for room. And they roll the dice, and it ain't snake eyes. They pick up the first down.
They had the exact look they had practiced for and what they wanted. The up man gets the snap directly. He's able to use the speed, get the first down, and the chains are moving.
The Beavers will snap it on 1st and 10. Pulls and throws off the RPO. And he almost ran away from everybody on that one. A huge pickup on that play.
When we see another catch by this guy, this defense is going to need to do a better job of tackling the catch. In coverage, I know they want to slap the ball away, but if you can't do it and force the incompletion, you've got to at least make sure you're able to drag him down to the ground as soon as he catches the ball.
And with that stop, we are headed toward the end of the first quarter. Second down here as they go back to work after the break. Going with the counter play here. And it's on the ground. And he falls on top of his own fumble, and the offense will retain possession.
What a lucky break for them.
And wait just a second. The official's going to take a second look at this one. And you know the standard is indisputable video evidence, and the officials will change the call. Third down for the offense after recovering their own fumble. Now on the option. And they did not let him get to that first down line. It'll bring up a call here.
Man, that's a really good job by the defense, because when you get in that 3rd and medium area, listen, you got to be worried about the run and the pass. Did a good job playing both, got it stopped, now forcing a 4th down.
Let's go. No movement from the field goal unit. The offense is out there to try to keep this drive alive on 4th down. It's complete. Takes it to the house. Touchdown, Beaver.
Quarterback's abilities to read the field is huge, and also the anticipation, the timing. To be able to throw the football, Jesse, and hit a guy in stride so he can get run after the catch and get in the end zone, that was a nice job by the quarterback.
Yeah, it's critical, David. Listen, a lot of times touchdown passes aren't thrown into the end zone. You've got to read the coverage, hit the open guy, and let him do the rest.
And we're all square as he's set to kick it away. Bounces through the end zone. It's a touchback. They'll bring it out to the 25. Boise State ready to send out that offense. The last time we saw this offense, we had to look quick. It was a 3-and-out, Jesse.
They just had no rhythm in that last drive. So someone's going to have to step up and make a play, David, and get this thing going.
Yeah, let's find some juice. Find your guy. Find those plays that you know you can run inside out, forward, backwards. Get some first downs. Get some positive momentum.
After the 3-yard pickup, they come to the line, 2nd and 7. He has the first and still on his feet. Speeding down the left side. He's at the 10. And he eluded the defense, and he'll take it all the way. Touchdown, Boise State. There's a reason they call this dude a big playmaker. Moments just like that one.
Big-time playmaker. Can make plays all over the field from all different spots. That's why you got to find ways to give him touches as much as possible because he'll make it happen.
Lining up to cover the kick after that touchdown drive. The kickoff bounces through the end zone. They'll bring it out to the 25. Oregon State takes over, ready to send the offense onto the field. That last drive, an absolute aerial assault for the touchdown, Jesse.
It was a nice job in play calling, too, David, just giving the quarterback some easy looks and reads so he could go out and execute.
And he knew exactly where to go with the football. Everything looked really, really easy. He was hot. The ball was coming out of his hands. The defense better do something different.
Cranking up a drive like that can really get you going. It's 1st down from the 44. The option look. He'll pitch it. He's knocked down in the backfield. He'll lose a couple.
And that is beautiful defense. Timing up the blitz, getting in the backfield, and not just getting there, laying the big lick.
I think that ball carrier, his eyes were like saucers on that one. He knew he was running that thing right into the teeth of it. And, boy, he paid the price.
Back to throw, it's McCoy. And that's going to be incomplete. A lot of contact on the play, but no flags. It'll be 3rd down.
We know this guy's a weapon, not just taking handoffs, but he can catch the ball, too. That play, not so much. Got to do a better job reeling it in.
3rd and long, and he'll try to throw for it. And he was drilled just as he released the pass. It's incomplete.
Great job by the defense dialing up some pressure on 3rd down. They hit the quarterback and forced the incompletion.
4th down, and the punt team sends it the other way. Good job by the coverage unit to stop the return man. Boise State has it back, ready to go to work on offense. And, David, how they would love to stick it in the end zone one more time after that last drive.
And once you get the defense on their heels and you back them off a little bit, you get in a little bit of rhythm, it's really hard to stop, Jesse, and they're going to try to do it again right here.
And if you're this play caller, you're loving what's happening right now because everything you dialed up on that last drive ended up working out. You're just looking at your play sheet. Everything you're picking is working. Let's see if they can pull it off again here.
Got 6 on 1st down. Now a lot of options on 2nd and 4. They'll try to get outside. Now they've got even more breathing room out to the 31 and a fresh set of downs.
Another good run. Man, he has been picking up yards in bunches today. Jesse showing off all the skills.
And he's showing no signs of slowing down, David. This guy just gets better as the game goes on. He is a beast.
They'll put the tight end in motion. Power football with the run. And he moved it slightly forward. Defense played it well.
Well, this offense came into the game knowing they wanted to be physical. They wanted to establish the line of scrimmage, and they're running downhill right at this defense, and they're churning out positive yardage early.
Solid pickup of 4 on first down. It's 2nd and 6. Motion from the offense. Little touch pass to the receiver. Crosses the 45. And he's running in the open. And how much running room have they been able to find on the ground? Man, are they piling up some gaudy rushing stats.
I love that play call, and I love the timing of the pre-snap motion. Because the quarterback was able to get it to the receiver right behind the offensive line, because of the timing, he was able to outflank the defense. That puts him out in space where he's able to use his speed. Nice job with the pre-snap motion and timing.
Got some work to do on 2nd down after that last one. They need 13. Past the 30. Can anyone catch him? And he ran away from the crowd, and he'll take it in. Touchdown, Broncos! What an explosive eruption into the end zone by this running back.
And this back does it a lot, doesn't he? Makes big plays. When you can make big plays like this, it makes everybody's job easier. Oh, we can play action. Oh, we can throw it. But it starts with the run game, and this guy's setting everything up.
And the extra point puts them on top 21-7. About to kick it away after scoring the touchdown. That ball skips through the end zone. It's a touchback, and they'll take over at the 25-yard line. Oregon State has it back, and here comes the Beaver offense. This is when the pressure can ramp up a little bit on an offense, David, when they start feeling the heat to answer a score.
And I think being down 14, you can kind of fun.
They stripped it out. Picks up the ball and tries to make something of it. Hits the accelerator to the right. At the 20. And no one is going to catch him. Cruises into the end zone for a touchdown.
And that's not how you draw it up, but how about the offense and the awareness? You see the ball out, forget jumping on it. I'm going to pick that puppy up. I'm going to take it to the house. The OC, great call on that one, buddy, because it worked to perfection.
He'll try to tack on one more. And the PAT will draw them 1 point closer. That kind of drive will boost your confidence. One play, hit the big pass, put a touchdown on the board. The kickoff team out there getting set. He'll call for the fair catch here. Back out there ready to give it another spin. The way this game started, you feel as if you have to score a touchdown every time you have it, and now we'll see if they can respond.
Yeah, now what?
And he breaks into the open. The 30. 10. And he got away from the defense and takes it in. Touchdown, Broncos.
Have yourself a day, young fella. You know why they handed him the ball a lot? Because he did that. That's his 4th trip to pay dirt. This dude has shown you a little bit of everything. What a great back. And 4 touchdowns on the day.
Lining up to tack one more onto that lead. And the extra point is good for a 28-14 lead. That kind of drive will boost your confidence. One play, hit the big pass, put a touchdown on the board. they're just about ready to kick it away. And they thought about a return, then thought better of it. They'll bring it out to the 25. Oregon State takes over, ready to send the offense onto the field. Now we'll get a chance to see if they can answer that last score, trailing by 14, Jesse.
Yeah, and at this point in the game, I feel like
hit the afterburners, kid. Big gain on that one as he steps out of bounds with a first down.
And I tell you what, we can focus on the left side of the line of scrimmage because that's where the play starts. But you don't get big gains when you run out wide unless wide receivers, yes, wide receivers, commit to blocking, staying on their guys. Really good job on the outside by giving the running back space to make the big play.
And excellent vision to find running room there and make a really good pickup before the defense put a stop to it. First down here with time for maybe one more play until the 2-minute warning. We've reached the 2-minute warning, and this thing has been one-sided, and they hope to at least have something to feel good about going into halftime. They'll snap it from the 30 on first down. Throws to the tight end. And that one's incomplete. Worth taking a shot there, but couldn't hook up.
And I love taking deep shots. I think it makes cornerbacks play honest, safeties play honest, and you can tell just missed a little bit deep on that shot. But listen, those are shots that we want to take because the risk is definitely worth the reward.
Here comes the offense on second down. Movement from the linebackers trying to mess with the offensive line's assignments. He finds his man.
And quarterback receiver on the same page. Nice job seeing the zone, understanding the drag route concept. Easy pitch, easy catch.
Third and short from the 22. Is the field goal unit getting ready, or is this already 4-down territory? They'll try to get it through the air. Quick strike complete. And the defense makes the immediate tackle, but he has enough for the first down. And on that third and short, I don't think he was unhappy to see that zone.
Nope, it's a great job by the offense. Hey, see where the holes in the zone are? Sit down. You only need a little bit of yards on this third down. Get the conversion. Move the sticks.
And the Beavers have it with a 1st and 10. And here comes the heat, and they get home, and they get him at the 21. There's a timeout called as this offense tries to find a way to draw a little closer. They'll try to keep that sack from wrecking this drive here on 2nd and 15. Motion by the back forces the defense to adjust. And they'll bring him down after a short pickup. Seventh play of the drive coming up, but a long way to go on third down. He's looking downfield to throw. Can't make the grab as he was going for 6 right there.
Nice job by the defense. They're mixing up their look. They're 3rd and long in field goal range. They go zone coverage, so everybody on the back end has the eye on the quarterback, and they're able to break on the ball, force the incompletion.
It is perfect. So they get the field goal, now about to kick it away, and you get a stop here, and you go to halftime feeling really good about things. The ball squirts through the end zone. That'll be a touchback. They'll bring it out to the 25. Boise State ready to send out that offense. They've got time, they've got the lead, and David is sort of like a doctor. First, do no harm.
Do no harm, but also momentum is hard to create and sometimes hard to stop. You have it, so Jesse, don't do anything stupid to create some momentum for the other side.
I think a lot of this comes down to your quarterback and whether or not he's making good decisions in this game. If yes, be aggressive. If not, let's just take the lead into halftime and get ready for the second half.
And he'll get it up to the 38. It'll be a first down. The offense will have to use its first timeout of the half.
You know, they pride themselves on being physical at the point of attack, dominating at the line of scrimmage. Nice job there picking up the first down.
Looking to move it through the air. Gets it out quickly. And they picked up 9 on first down. It'll bring up second and short.
I want to get my running backs the ball in space as much as possible, and sometimes it doesn't work in the running game. But I can throw it to them. I can try to create some space out wide, dump him the football, let him make some catches, and see if I can't get some big plays out of it.
Past the 40. Finally pulled down, but not before moving the chains for a first down. They'll use a timeout right before halftime. Maybe time for 1 or 2 more plays. Just a few seconds remaining here as they try to put something up before halftime. They'll leave it with him. And a nice solid pickup there before the defense wrestles him to the ground. The offense burns its 3rd and final timeout of the half. And as the clock is winding down here in the first half, they'll send out the field goal team. Just drives it between the uprights. And now the lead is even bigger. And that'll bring us to the end of the first half as we head to the studio for halftime. The Beavers will kick it off to start the second half. Not going to risk a return here. He'll make the fair catch. Boise State has it back, ready to go to work on offense. If it's working, why change it? And that running game was working in the first half. I imagine we'll see a lot more of it here in the 3rd quarter.
And you just know the offensive line was telling their coordinator, put this on us. Let us continue to go out there, push these guys around. We can put this game on our back and end this thing by running the ball.
And this is a manhood question for this defense. Like, as a defensive lineman, and you're pounding the rock, like, I got to physically rise to this challenge. This defense has to play more inspired and more physical in the second half.
Discards a man, and he'll run across the sidelines after the good gain.
And listen, they didn't get the huge play off of that, but I love the ability to show that and be able to show plays off of that jet motion and just show them you're willing to complete it. But, you know, get those little chunks at a time. It doesn't have to always be a home run. That's still a successful play.
That pass not close as he got drilled trying to deliver it, and it'll bring up 4th down. The Broncos will punt this one away. This will be the 2nd time they've had to kick it away. Running it back, it's Wells. He gets it up to the 34-yard line before he stopped, and that's where the offense will set up shop. For a productive play on first down. He's going to pass. Feeling some heat. And the quarterback is snowed under.
That's a good example there of complementary defense. The DBs and linebackers are playing zone. They're playing their spaces, and they force the QB to have to hold the ball, try to work through his progressions. And then the pass rush, they win up front.
Back to pass, it's McCoy. Throws to the wideout. Makes a connection. And they'll finally bring him down after he rips off a huge play.
And I love when you understand when I'm supposed to put some RPMs on that football. You can tell he's throwing over the middle of the field. He knows he's got defenders there. I got to throw this thing in there quick, fast, in a hurry. Nice job by the quarterback.
It'll be a first down from the 49-yard line. He wants to throw. Using the back as a receiver on the screen. Didn't have much room to run and not a whole lot of help. Short gain there and still plenty of ground to cover for the first down.
Again, this is a running back that can hurt you running it between the tackles, and he's dangerous out in space. They like to throw it to him out on the perimeter as he picks up a couple of yards there.
Got some of the work done on first. Now let's see what they have on second down. He's looking to throw. snagged in the middle. It's Card. A quick tackle made, but he's got it ready for the first down.
Yeah, and I tell you what, when you stick these fast suckers in the slot, they don't have to be big. But you get those guys that are so quick in the slot, they can get great matchups, and I can get the ball to them quick because they're such dynamic playmakers.
The Beavers are rolling down the field. Linebackers moving, trying to confuse the quarterback. He'll try to pop the draw. And he doesn't find much running room, a short gain on the play. Didn't get much on first down. It's 2nd and 9. Looking to throw, it's McCoy. He's got his man.
My old coach said you'll never go broke taking a profit. Take what's there, take the positive yards, never complain.
And this offense just has to find a way to convert this third down, or else they are really in trouble. Here comes the option. Quick toss. They were all over him. Nowhere to go as that third down play turned into a disaster.
Keep the foot on the pedal if you're on offense here. You got that yardage. Yeah, you didn't get the first down, but you've set yourself up now to go for it here and keep this drive alive.
Here comes the field goal unit as they'll try to get the 3. And after putting an earlier field goal up, they'll try it again, this time a 45-yarder. Good, right down the boulevard. After putting up a 3-spot, the kickoff unit set to go. Fair catch called for and made. Bronco offense back out there ready to give it another spin. Last time, David, it was 1-2-3 kick.
The last drive, that 3 and out, sometimes that...
Nothing but green ahead. He's at the 30. And they get him out of bounds after an explosive run, just chewing up yardage along the way.
This guy strikes fears into the hearts of every defensive coordinator, David, with that speed. If you give this guy any open grass, man, he's gone.
It's just silly. Look at the angles, people trying to catch him, but he's got so much juice, he can outrun.
Got enough space, and he'll step into the end zone. Touchdown, Boise State.
When these offenses get in the rhythm, they're hard to stop. Already up early, got a short field, take advantage of it too, get another touchdown. This offense is doing whatever they want to do and having a lot of success.
Getting set for the point after. The kick is up and good and put one more on the lead. They wasted no time on that drive, got it on their 25, and 2 plays later, they're in the end zone. About to kick it off after punching it in for the touchdown. He'll bring it out. It's Griffin. That is a decision he will likely regret. He brings it out of the end zone, and he's knocked down at the 10. Oregon State has it back, and here comes the Beaver offense. They're going to have to be more aggressive in this drive. You can't expect to win this one, David, kicking field goals.
No, especially when you're trailing. You got to have a little more.
The ball pops out. Defense just cradling that fumble and secure. And he's brought down, and this defense gets the ball back for its own. He spun that wheel of fortune by challenging the call, and it does not go his way, and he loses the timeout. First down for this offense.
42 Spider.
Give to the running back. He's dropped behind the line of scrimmage. That'll be a loss of 3.
And sometimes for the defense, it just takes one play, right, to create some momentum. Obviously, this guy's been eating him up. He's got over 100 yards rushing on the day. But finally, David, they get something positive here in the run game defensively.
But you kind of know that coming in. He's going to get his. Such a great back, and he's had a great day. Need to put more plays together like that right there.
Not what they had in mind to start this drive. Here comes 2nd and 13. Pre-snap motion, quarterback trying to get a read. Looking to throw on 2nd down. Unloads it left. It falls incomplete, and man, did they think they had that one set up, and it didn't quite work. And guys, they really need to take advantage of this field position on 3rd and long. It's a draw. Smashes through. And he'll pick up the 1st down after a tough run there.
There's really no secret to it, David. When this guy's running well, this offense is so hard to stop.
It opens up everything, and he's having a great day, showing you a little bit of everything, and this offense has got it rolling on the ground.
And the Broncos line it up with a 1st and goal. They'll try to get it in with the run. He pushes his way down to the 4 as they get closer and closer.
It's now 2nd and goal.
Defense trying to come up with a stop on 2nd and goal. Moving the running back, trying to get the D to tip its hand. The give to the back. Touchdown, Broncos! And the stomping has commenced. The offense did exactly what it needed to do, getting the ball in field position like that.
It's that killer mentality. You step on their throat, you keep your foot down. When you get opportunities like that, they are golden chances to put touchdowns on the board. The offense took care of business.
And the extra point will tack another one onto this lead. A very efficient 5-play scoring drive. And they finished it off with the score from the 4. Coming out with it, it's Griffin. He was looking for some running room, but not much to be found as he stopped at the 18. Oregon State takes over, ready to send the offense onto the field. That last fumble proved to be costly as they cashed it in for a touchdown.
Yeah, and so this defense now is juiced. They're excited and ready to go.
And the pressure gets there. And down he goes at the 18.
Nice coverage on the back end. Great job. Nothing open right away. The QB holds the ball in the pocket, and the pass rush finally gets home. Sometimes it's the DBs doing great work. Sometimes it's the defensive lineman winning up front.
Now the offense has to overcome the negative play after the defense comes up with a sack. Looking to pass. It's McCoy. Getting some heat. And the pressure is coming in, and they get him again.
And it's been a long day for this offense. If you can't protect your quarterback, it's hard to be successful. That's the 5th sack they have given up. The offensive coordinator has no answers, and this defense has been flying around.
He's got an open man. And with that effort, they pick up a fresh set of downs. They have it at the 34-yard line.
Nice play design on that one. You make it easy for your quarterback, too, because it's easy to see what's happening right in front of you. Over the middle of the field, you can see where defenders are dropping. You can see where the soft spots are in zone coverage. And just a really nice job by the QB locating his guy and making an accurate throw.
He just missed the target on that one. Got to put it on his body.
His defensive linemen have tents in the backfield. Goodness gracious, they're camping out back there, hitting the quarterback time and time again. When you've sacked him this much, of course he's going to be flustered. Of course he wants to get rid of the football.
He's back to throw on 2nd down. Grabbed in the middle, it's Clemens. And the explosive play, they're on the move all the way to the 44.
That quarterback has a hose. That dude could throw it through a car wash and not get it wet. Great job of putting that ball on a line to his wide receiver.
And the Beavers look to keep this drive humming. Pre-snap motion in the backfield. Touch pass on the run. And a decent gain there before the defense makes the stop.
Well, you got to give the defense a lot of credit on this play because they were doing a nice job understanding who had the football and where they were. So a nice job by the defense rallying around that ball carrier and now not giving up the first down.
As they get set to snap it, time winding down here in the quarter. Back to throw, it's McCoy. It's complete. Makes the grab, and it's enough for the first down before he's dragged to the ground.
That's the end of the third quarter. With the score, Boise State 45, Oregon State 20.
The Beavers come to the line with a new set of downs. Back to the air one more time. That one comes out hot down the right side. And this is dropped. Incomplete pass. He had a huge gain in his fingers and he couldn't hold on. After the incompletion, looking at second down. He'll ride his man on the option. He'll toss it. Fakes his man out. And a big play there on the option. The pitch was executed perfectly.
Yeah, and listen, this guy's had a good day. I know they're trailing and they need to put some drives together, but I also wouldn't abandon him because he's had such a monster day and he's been the bright spot so far for this offense.
They're going to go right back to him on first down. It'll be second down, and remember, they can pick up a first without scoring. On second down, wants to throw. Pressure coming. Touchdown, Oregon State! And they take it in for 6 more points. Well, that didn't necessarily go as planned, but it was most effective in the end.
I love it, Reese. Down in the red zone, this quarterback didn't have anybody open. Didn't panic. He just decided, man, I'm going to go do this myself. I'm going to use my wheels and put up 6 on the board. He did just that.
And the jumbo formation is on the field as they line up for the 2 points. Power ahead. He's not going to make it in, and the decision to go for 2 does not work out. Almost ready to kick it away after scoring the touchdown.
Oregon State 26.
No return coming. He'll call for the fair catch. Boise State ready to send out that offense. This has been exactly the way you draw things up, David. The offense has really been moving the football.
And it's been great execution. They've done exactly what they've wanted to do. Build the lead. Now Palmer's a different animal. Now you got to protect him.
And you can tell they were paying attention in practice this week in the film room because they have gone out, everybody right now on the same page.
Not what they had in mind to start this drive. Here comes 2nd and 13. And he got a hand in there, knocks it away, incomplete.
Football, you give it to him, good, but don't hurt. And you can tell when you run these RPOs, the QBs want to make that decision quick. And I think he hurried it a little bit too much. Got the ball out quick, but obviously was inaccurate with his pass.
A 3rd and long coming up here. Looking to throw, and he needs a chunk play. Oh, he wants it all. And it slips through his fingers, incomplete. That would have been a huge gain if he could have squeezed it.
And that is a frustrating possession for this offense. You wanted to run the football, maybe take some time. You did the opposite. Got in a bad situation, threw the football, stopped the clock. Not how you manage a game late in the fourth quarter.
And the punt goes out of bounds. We'll check the spot. Think they'll have it right around the 40-yard line. Oregon State has it back, and here comes the Beaver offense. How about that last drive? Just carved him up in the air, David.
Yeah, and how about that quarterback? You gave him the
ball in the air, intercepted. Bringing it back. The 20. And he's going to take it all the way. Touchdown, Broncos.
Touchdown, Boise State.
Yeah, and that just might do it. Man, offense needed points badly. Defense comes up with the big interception, takes it all the way back just to pad their lead a little bit and make this game almost out of reach.
Now they'll line up for what they hope is automatic. And with the extra point, they push the lead out a little further.
That makes the score Boise State 52, Oregon State 26.
They'll kick it off and send that defense right back out there to try to score again after the pick six. Fielded in the end zone. It's Griffin. Not nearly as much as he'd hoped when he brought it out of the end zone. He'll be stopped at the 50.
We'll take over 1st and 10.
Oregon State takes over, ready to send the offense onto the field. The big thing now, don't get rattled by that last pick six, David.
Nah, it was a big mistake. Obviously, the defense took advantage of it, but you got to put it behind you. Jesse, I'm sure you know a thing or two about throwing a pick six and how to rebound.
I believe I've only thrown one in my life, but yes, I do because of that singular instance. I'll say this. You can't let that play beat you twice. You got to go out and not try to get it all back here in one play. Just execute the offense.
And the incomplete pass had a lot of juice on it.
It's a nice adjustment by the defense here. With a big lead in the game, you're putting extra DBs on the field, knowing the offense has to throw to get back in this one in the fourth quarter. So your best cover guys on the field, and they force an incompletion on the last one.
Couldn't find his man last time, and that leaves him with a 3rd and 6. Looking for a man. It's McCoy. And he's all bottled up, and now it's worse. The ball's loose. Oh, the fumble, and the defense got it. Touchdown, Boise State. And the defense doing work. What a play by the defense there. Loose football, country fumble, pick it up with room, scoop, and score.
No doubt, country versus city. When it's a country fumble, nobody around. I got to pick that puppy up and do some damage with it. Nice job seeing the situation, scooping it up, making a play.
And with that extra point, the lead remains in the gargantuan category. The scoop and score, what a lift it can give to the defense. Not content to get the ball. They wanted to do something with it, and they did. That one bounds through the end zone, and it'll be a touchback. Oregon State has it back, and here comes the Beaver offense. It's a good thing to be charitable, Jesse, but I think the last couple of drives might be overdoing it a bit.
I agree, and I think at this point, David, the quarterback here, he's got to be a CEO, and he's got to really get his guys settled down. A couple turnovers in a row. Now they've got to find a rhythm.
CEO, a.k.a. don't screw it up, young man. That's what it sounds like on the sidelines with the coaches. You've got to stop turning the football over.
Trying to turn the corner on the right. Pretty good job of running to get 2 there to the 32.
He's tackled at the 32-yard line. Brings up 3rd down.
Faced with a 3rd and short from their own 32 to keep this drive alive. They'll stick to the ground looking for the marker. They bring him down, and he's going to lose a yard on that one.
And a great job by the linebacker. You could tell starting to crowd the line of scrimmage, get up there in the line of scrimmage, see it, diagnose it, get in the backfield, get the running back on the ground for the tackle for the loss.
Down in the 4th quarter, it's too late for empty possessions. They'll go for it on 4th down. Fast motion from the offense. On 4th down, they're taking to the air. He's got him, and they convert. He's run out of bounds, but a big play on that one, and it'll be a 1st down.
That's a great example of the receiver knowing exactly where the 1st down marker is. He got the depth he needed to get, so once he was able to make the catch, he already knew he had it. Now a fresh set of downs.
Keeping it on the ground with the running back. They finally make the stop, but the big run is plenty to move those sticks for the 1st down.
Yeah, and a nice big pickup on the ground. Palmer could have used some of this earlier in the game. Are you calling runs at this point?
No, I'd be a little bit more aggressive, I think, throwing it. I think part of it right now is because the defense, they've got the lead big. They're just playing a little bit more zone, a little bit more prevent. They're fine letting this offense just chip down the field, but they're wasting time off the clock.
The ball carries by a receiver. Picks up 7. 2nd down coming up.
And here comes play number 6 of the drive. Back to throw, it's McCoy. Just a short pass to the tight end. And he earns a 1st down, and boy, did he earn it after taking that lift. No reason to panic when you see those extra bodies coming. Just find the big tight end.
Well, and the great ones do that. I think the great ones are okay. You want to blitz? I know my answers. I'm all right. I'll stay patient. Find the matchup. This time it was the tight end. Finds the tight end, throws a strike, gets the 1st down.
Stop is made almost immediately. Give him 1 to the 23.
At the 23-yard line. Brings up 2nd down.
Didn't get much on 1st down. It's 2nd and 9. They'll run it behind the big guys on the left. They make the stop at the 19 after a pickup of 5.
I think you run that play on 2nd down knowing it's going to make 3rd down easy. You're not trying to hit a home run. You don't need the big play right now. Now you know 3rd down, everything's on the table, everything's available, high success rate.
They'll go to the air. That 3rd down pass was coming in hot before it fell to the ground.
This defense has just been all over this guy all game long. Under pressure, they're finding a way to get to him and affect his rhythm. Of course, they have an interception in this game. That's why they've got a big lead here in the 4th quarter. This guy has never gotten into a rhythm.
Down by multiple possessions, they can't come up empty on this drive in the 4th quarter. They'll go for it on 4th down. Goes to the option. Oh, and he can't hold the pitch, and the ball's loose. The defense scoops it up, and they're bringing it back.
And the only time it's okay to stretch the ball out and fumble the football is on 4th down and short. It's on 4th down and goal when you have to lay out and you have to reach that football. You could tell he was trying to maybe reach that football, coughed it up, Defense forces the fumble, gets the stop on 4th down.
They'll keep it on the ground. They want this clock to move. What a good run there. He has enough for the first down. We've reached the 2-minute warning, and this offense is that much closer to salting away a victory. It'll be a first down from the 49-yard line. They can stop the clock a couple more times, and they need to get it back fast, down 2 possessions as the clock keeps winding down.
For this?
They'll line up for a second down play. And on 4th down, they'll take a knee, but this one's just about over. Running out the clock, a mere formality between them and a victory as we have victory formation coming. And they take a knee on 4th down, having inflicted enough damage, and that ought to do it. Well, they say you win a few, you lose a few, and some get rained out. Would have been good for this team if this one had gotten rained out because they lost badly.
Yeah, not a lot to be too proud about in this one here. Good news is you get to go back to the drawing board. You get to go back, you get to have another week of practice as a coaching staff, try and find ways to get players in position to go out and make plays. Going to need a big locker room speech after this one, David.
Yeah, and you're going to watch this tape, and it's going to hurt because you're going to watch it with coaches, and you're going to see the mess-ups and all the things you could have done better, but you got to learn from it. You got to get better. You got to grow, and that's how that works.
That's going to do it for us. For Jesse Palmer, David Pollack, our entire broadcast team, I'm Reese Davis. This has been another presentation of EA Sports College Football.